Haitian immigrants in Ohio are eating animals. So first of all, it's not that far-fetched. Haitians do eat animals. There are several reports online now of people who are Haitian or have been to Haiti or have Haitian friends, and they're like, yeah, they eat dogs and cats. It's a third world country. There's extreme poverty. They eat what they can get. They'll eat dogs and cats. They'll eat, whatever. You guys, stuff is going down. I was going to do a Kamala Trump debate fact check. And well, if you follow me on X, I did that a lot, so much. I argued with so many people. I need to argue with people because I need to see what the other side thinks, and it just normally ends up in an argument. It's not like I seek the argument. It's like I seek the other opinion, and then it becomes an argument because sometimes they're dum-dums, okay? Sometimes they're dum-dums. Speaking of dum-dums, if you are watching mainstream media for any other reason right now than to go, hey, look what these dum-dums are saying today, then you're probably getting false information. You are being fooled. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. They're lying about illegal immigration. Again, surprise, surprise. Hopefully by now you already know that the Venezuelan gangs did indeed take over, I think, 2 apartment complexes now. I think one of the apartment owners sold the apartment to the Venezuelan gang, probably because he was being threatened and stuff. So now the people who live there, including women and children, are paying them money, paying the Venezuelan gang rent. Yeah, that's happening. That's happening in Colorado. So we're just going to put a pin in that. I'm going to assume you already know that that's happening. I'm going to assume you already know that the police chief, the local governance, and big government, all and mainstream media all decided to lie to us. Say that's not happening. Venezuelan gangs aren't a problem. So it turns out that they knew about it for like a year. It turns out also oil fields are being attacked. They're being looted for like copper and equipment and stuff by Venezuelan gangs. All of that, they pretended it wasn't happening. 2 school buses, I believe in California, also Venezuelan gangs, tried to take over the buses. So all of this they were saying wasn't happening, and indeed now we know that it was in fact happening. So there's a new thing that was sparked by the debate. Something that President Trump said on stage was that Haitian immigrants in Ohio are eating animals. So first of all, it's not that far-fetched. Haitians do eat animals. There are several reports online now of people who are Haitian or have been to Haiti or have Haitian friends, and they're like, yeah, they eat dogs and cats. It's a third world country. There's extreme poverty. They eat what they can get. They'll eat dogs and cats. They'll eat, whatever. There is one false report that I've seen so far that seemed to get mixed into this story because it is an African-American woman eating a cat like in her neighborhood, just like apparently she stomped on his head and started eating it, and all her neighbors saw it and they called the police and she got arrested. So that was put online as like a clip of all of that happening. She did in fact eat it. It's pretty gross, but it turns out I think she is an American citizen. There's a longer version of that video, and at least it appears that her neighbors know who she is. Like, they were checking on her kids because apparently she was on meth or something and saying, I killed my kids. So they had to call whoever had her kids to make sure that the kids were safe, and she didn't actually kill them. They're fine. She didn't kill them. But I guess she had a bad drug trip, and she ate a cat. So that story's been mixed in there. That story is false. I mean, it really happened, but it's false in the way that was not a Haitian immigrant in Ohio. It was in Ohio, not in Springfield, Ohio, where all this stuff is happening. But I think that got mixed into the stories, and perhaps on purpose, because who would just take that one clip and then put it online, right? I guess someone who wants chaos, but we'll assume that it was not done on purpose. But there are actually real stories, because if it was done on purpose, it was like to suppress these poor Ohio citizens that are like going through all this stuff. And I would assume if it happened, allegedly, I'm not saying it did happen. It would be the Kamala campaign trying to suppress news of all these immigrant crimes coming out. You know, the things she says isn't happening, immigrant crime. There have been several, and I will show you. That's what this video is going to be about. By the way, I'm Stephanie. Welcome to Living for the Plot. Thanks for watching. I'm feeling some kind of way about this, so that's why we're going to talk about it. There are videos of people in politics, in their local governance. There's people, citizens, speaking to their local representatives and saying these things are happening. Even if you put the eating animals aside, and what we don't know for sure is if it is like people's dogs and cats like pets. That's what was reported, and that's what they're saying is like, oh, that's a lie. There's no record of that happening. First of all, how would you know? How would you know? If your cat just disappears, you assume it got lost. You assume like my mom has an indoor-outdoor cat. He just disappears forever, eats birds, and like it comes back. He might have 3 other families. We don't know. I don't know how you would know that, but let's just say what we know for sure. What we know for sure is they are taking geese and ducks and eating those. There's even been a lib news article being like, that's not weird. We eat birds. And it's like, yeah, but we don't just go to the local park and grab one and snap its neck and then cook it for dinner. I guess you could argue that maybe we should. I think Tim Pool was arguing that. But it's more than that. Like I was saying, even if we put that aside, even if you're fine with that, these people are having a lot more trouble and they're not being taken seriously. They're being laughed at. They're being ignored. And I'll show you videos of people saying this is happening. It's not funny. I'm scared. They are being pushed out of the housing market. There are people who told them that landlords who said, move out, we're going to fix it up, you can move back in. They never got to move back in. They fixed it up and they sold it or rented it to Haitians because they're probably, I would assume, getting money from the government. They came here for jobs. The same people who own the buildings are employing these people. Instead of renting per room, they're renting per bed. Someone who's making $650 in rent before is now making $250 per bed, sticking multiple of them inside a room. If you are supporting this, if you are ignoring it, you are supporting modern day human trafficking and modern day slavery. Let's get to the video. So you don't have to take my word for it. Take the word, but please listen to the people in Ohio. I think that's super messed up. Like, this is happening all over the country. It's happening in Colorado. It's happening in Ohio. Something scary is happening, and I would hate it that if I lived in Ohio or if this was happening here in Florida where I am, and I was online saying, hey, this is happening, help us, we need help. There are car accidents every day because they're giving these people licenses. There's people dying because of these car accidents. There's we're being pushed out of the housing market. We can't afford anything. We're being pushed out of jobs. We're having to wait extended periods of times for car insurance or for health insurance or to see the doctor. They do not have health insurance in Haiti. The HIV is all over the place, and these are facts. I will show you videos. It's scary. It's insane. You do not want this on your doorstep, and if it was on your doorstep, you would not want to be ignored. So let me show you a few of these videos so you don't think I'm just a crazy person talking. Okay, like I said, if you're going to listen to mainstream media, listen to it so you can see what these dumb dummies are saying and how they are manipulating us. That's what I do. It makes me very angry. But let's listen to MSNBC and what they are saying, how they are suppressing these stories, and we will go from there.
As we have been talking about a lot this hour and all day, frankly, Trump made the claim on stage last night that migrants in Springfield, Ohio, were eating household pets. A lot of people watching were confused. Lots of others laughed, but it is having an effect, and it is happening and having a real-life effect to migrants in Ohio right now. Joining us now, NBC News Washington correspondent Yamiche Alcindor, who's in Springfield, Ohio, for us. So, Yamiche, what are folks telling you there?
Well, good afternoon from Springfield, Ohio, where residents here are really shocked and are feeling real tension because of the situation here with former President Trump spreading those baseless claims that Haitian immigrants are abusing and even eating animals here. I talked to a number of Haitian migrants who told me that they are really saddened and feeling a lot of pain from the fact that he's spreading these false accusations. I talked to one Haitian migrant in particular who said that people are really scared for their lives. Listen to what he told me about other Haitian immigrants.
They are scared for their lives. Some of them are asking me, even yesterday I got a friend calling me asking me if he has to leave because he's scared for his life. So another friend told me that it seems that he would have had some family coming to visit him, but it seems that he gonna welcome them in Columbus or Dayton because it is not safe right now for him in Springfield.
Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, that heaping pile of mainstream media garbage, we're going to move on to an actual independent journalist that might have something more interesting to say. But first, I want you to notice how there was only one interview of one guy, I assume he's Haitian or Haitian American, talking about this friend told me this friend told me this. They're scared. The immigrants are scared. Are they? Are the immigrants scared? The people who nobody asked for them to come here? The people who are struggling now because Kamala gave them temporary protections? Those people? Notice how they didn't interview an Ohio native, probably because they would have told them, no, this is a problem. You should take this seriously. I'm sure they did interview them and then we're like, no, cut it. It's such trash reporting. Anyway, so this is an actual human being actually interviewing an Ohio resident, and here is what she has to say.
A lot of allegations of animals going missing, ducks being basically
yes, sir.
taken.
There's pictures of that too.
Can you speak on that? Have you ever seen that in person?
I've seen, the only thing I've seen, I did see a pig's head laying down in Snyder Park.
You saw a pig's head?
A pig's head.
Like it had been cut off? Or?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't really see that every day, do you?
No, you don't. It's kind of surprising.
Wow.
But then our city wants to pass it off as cult stuff.
As cult stuff?
Yeah.
Do you think that has anything to do with, the...
They want to pass it off as cult stuff. That's not better. It's not better. If anything, that's worse, honestly. At least one, you can be like, oh, well, they're just used to eating whatever they need to eat for sustenance. Ritual sacrifice, different. Not better. And there has been also a report in animal sacrifice increasing. I guess I don't know if that was a thing that was happening before, but it is increasing now in Queens, New York, the animal sacrifice. So I don't know if that is also Haitians or just immigrants in general. I assume it has something to do with their voodoo practices, which I'm not saying many Haitians online have come online and said, yes, this is something they do. They're not embarrassed or ashamed about it. I'm sure not all of them do it, but it is happening. It is something that was not casually being done in America before, and it is causing friction, to say the least. Let's see what else this lady has to say.
Connections with voodoo that Haitians commonly have? I mean, in Haiti, it's a very commonly practiced thing.
I'm sorry. There's actually been a couple people that I know that have been told that they were going to be cursed by voodoo.
By Haitians?
By Haitians.
So that actually is a real thing
that.
here?
Yes.
That them practicing voodoo with animals, pig's head?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. That's, you don't hear that every day. That's crazy. How long have you been a resident of Springfield, Ohio?
My entire 58 years.
Your entire 58 years?
Yes,
so
sir.
You'll look a day over 20, okay? So
Thanks.
how would you describe what's going on here in Springfield? What are your concerns? What brings you out to City Hall today?
My concerns are security, mostly for the women in this town, the young girls. I've been accosted. I've been groped. I've been followed. I don't leave my house unless I'm armed and have my pit bull. And I couldn't bring them down here, but luckily I knew there was a bunch of people. The education system, it's terrible. And we've got adults going to school at the high school.
Can you
There were
explain that a little
fights
bit?
the first day. There are illegals. They're from 19 to 23 years old.
This woman says she has been groped. She has been accosted. That is crazy. That is insane. This is not a joke. This is not a conspiracy theory. Real people's lives are being affected. And if our people in charge, if Kamala, if Biden don't want to do anything about it, if they don't want to take it seriously, then maybe we shouldn't take them seriously. Trump did. Trump's taking it seriously. Trump took it so seriously that he mentioned it on the debate stage, knowing that he was going to be called a liar. Because guess what? They call him a liar on everything. And again, there will be a video with Kamala's fact checks. If you go to my X account right now or my Facebook right now, I've already debunked most of what that woman spewed out of her mouth the other day. But neither here nor there. So this woman was saying that they are being enrolled, and I read this too, 18, 19-year-old immigrants are being enrolled into schools as freshmen, as seniors in high school. I guess that's their plan to like integrate them or help them learn the language. But it's very scary, very dangerous. A freshman is 13, 14 years old, and like grown men are being enrolled with these babies. Not okay.
Going to our high school.
That's a little unusual. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
My 10-year-old granddaughter has a 16-year-old in her class.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does that raise safety concerns for you?
It raises many safety concerns for me. And like I said, all the women and females in Springfield, I don't care how old you are. Obviously, I'm 58 and I've been accosted.
Can you explain kind of what happened in that situation?
Well, I have lived on the south end of Springfield my whole entire life. It is the majority of the population is black. I've never had any problems. I was at a store a few days ago on South Limestone Street. I was attacked. I was called racist because I'm white. That was their reasoning, because I'm white.
Wow. Well, then you had mentioned about, being groped in the past. Could you explain that as well?
Yeah, a Haitian guy was following me around the store. Literally followed me. I asked him once, "Why are you following me?" He smiled and turned his back. The second time he came down the aisle, he was up against my rear end. And I pushed back from him and I said, "What the F are you doing?" And he said, "You don't understand English." So I pulled up my shirt and said, "Do you understand that?" And he left.
Wow. Well, and what would you want people? Obviously, this has kind of blown up into a national news story overnight, it seems like.
Well, they're burying their heads in the sand. Our city commission, our mayors, our people that we pay to protect us, the police, their hands are tied. I mean, everybody's complaining because the police aren't doing nothing, but they can't. Biden and Harris gave these people complete immunity, complete amnesty. So their hands are tied. So we're on our own here. And then they get on.
I don't think I had seen the latter part of this video. This poor woman. You'll notice this is a trend. Every single person I'm going to play that speaks, they have to put, "I'm not doing this because I'm racist. I am not a racist. Skin color is not the issue." They have to clarify that. The fact that they have to clarify that is insane. I'm sorry. You talk about being accosted. You talk about car crashes every single day. You talk about 16-year-olds being enrolled in school with your 13-year-old. That's not okay. That's not okay. You shouldn't have to be like, "I'm not racist, but these things are problems." Yeah, they're problems, period. This is importation of the third world. This is importation of Marxism. This is Kamala and Biden's doing, and it is harming Americans. And it's so crazy to me that the same people who are like, "Fund Ukraine, fund Israel, fund Save Palestine," are like, "Fuck Ohio." That's crazy. This is crazy. These people are being ignored. They're getting more attention now. I thought the memes about the cats of Trump saving cats were hilarious. Honestly, until I found out this was really happening. And now I'm glad it happened, because I think it took those memes to draw attention to this thing that's happening. Oh, Lord. Okay. I don't even know. Hopefully I'm allowed to finish this. I mean, it's like 5 minutes. Maybe I shouldn't. because we have more to go. We're gonna go to the next one. But there you go, an Ohio citizen telling you what is going on, telling you they're afraid, telling you their police officers have their hands tied, handcuffs, so to speak, saying their representatives are not doing anything about it. By the end of this, you'll see that there is something sort of being done now, but this is bad, guys. This is a video of a woman in Haiti that this is just showing that it is not uncommon for Haitians to eat animals. So that story only sounds wild to us because we're Americans and this isn't something that we're doing.
Oh, she says that she is keeping this little cat here and she's tying it up so that nobody steals it. And I said, well, why would someone steal it? And she says, because they'll eat it.
That's just one, but there are several videos online now. I didn't get them all because that is not the point here. But there are several videos online now of people in Haiti, people with Haitian family, people who've been to Haiti, and they're just like, yeah, this happens. It is not that extreme. It is not that wild. And I imagine that's why there is some lib publication publishing like, we all eat birds. What's wrong with eating goose and ducks? Like, not the problem. Symptom of a problem. Symptom of Kamala Harris dropping off 20,000 immigrants in Ohio and not giving them a way to do anything. It's literally, it's trafficking, it's slavery. I can't, y'all. I can't. That's why I'm making this video, because this is insane. It's even more insane that the mainstream media is gaslighting us, which I know most of us, if you're watching this, you probably believe that that's happening. But if you go on any social media, they're people, the people who support Kamala, they just run with it. They just take with the mainstream media. There's no further research necessary. They'll say, where are the videos? Where's the proof? And I'm going to continue showing it to you. You show it to them. I've shown all of this to several of them. And they're like, oh, well, Trump's a liar. You're a liar. That's not true. Where are the pictures of these things happening? And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry. If I walk past someone breaking the neck of a goose or duck, my first instinct isn't to videotape them. And I know this for a fact because one of my neighbors out here killed a duck. We live in Florida. There's lots of Muscovy ducks, and I love them. They're my friends. And there was one that I called Papa Duck, and we were real cool. We'd hang out in the mornings, and he was probably honestly outside because I would hang out with him. So he was outside, and somebody allowed their pit bull to rip him apart, basically. And I saw the tail end of it outside of my balcony window because my dog was barking incessantly, and I ignored him at first, and now I feel bad. I wish I hadn't. But I finally was like, dude, what is going on? What are you barking at? And I saw the tail end of a guy allowing his pit bull to rip apart this duck. And I literally was in shock. There was feathers everywhere. Like, I was so upset. Like, at no point in that was I like, oh, I better film this for evidence later. People don't think that way. Normal people do not think that way. Normal people are horrified when they see these things. Unless you've worked on a farm, worked with animals, where, I don't know, snapping a chicken's neck is something that you have to do. That's scary to people. So I would not be surprised if this is happening, and that is why there is no footage of it. But let's see what this woman has to say. More information, more proof, guys. Don't ignore it.
Ohio police say that eating animals in Ohio is not happening. But today, David Yost, who's the Attorney General of Ohio, released a statement. Not only are these undocumented visitors draining all their resources, but he agrees there's a problem with the fact that they are causing car crashes, squatting, and killing wildlife for food. So as Congress sits there and jokes around today and says, oh, there's no such thing happening, and mainstream media tells you there's no such thing happening, well, we've got David Yost here, who is the Attorney General of Ohio, right on his website, confirming it's happening. He's considering the city of Springfield pretty much a federal disaster and wants to take it in front of a judge. He wants to know how many more Kamala Harris is going to be sending to his area, and that the feds aren't responding or providing them any assistance.
It's happening. Where's the evidence? It's right here. I'm showing it to you. How is it that the internet is currently a better journalist than our actual journalists, the people who get paid lots and lots of money to investigate these things and report on them? I showed you the MSNBC report. All they wanted to report on was, oh my gosh, these rumors, they're hurting immigrants. They care more about the immigrants. Kamala Harris, Biden care more about the immigrants than they do about the American citizens who are being affected by their mass immigration. There's an employment agency over there that has been importing Haitian migrants into, hold on, I missed some. Every single person needs to listen to this. She is reading a letter from an Ohio state representative about what is happening in Springfield. Some highlights. Well, I'll just let her say it because I'm going to play the video. But so this letter she reads is from an Ohio state representative. So very factual. It's not just a person on TikTok or wherever saying this is happening. Although I feel like that should be listened to too. I feel like anybody who's made a hoax has been found out pretty quickly and taken apart pretty quickly with how we can fact check now. But these are actual citizens, and I'll show you a video of an actual citizen who's like scared. She's like, it's not a joke. This is happening. I'm scared. So let's listen to this one real quick.
Springfield, Ohio, and the Clark County area. I am currently a candidate for the state senate covering Clark, Greene, and Clinton counties. Over the last 4 years, Haitians who are crossing the border or in fact flown to our country as refugees have been given temporary protected status by the federal government. Under the Biden-Harris administration, they not only are protected, but they are given between $600 to $1,600 a month on debit cards through the Refugee Cash Assistance Program and allowed access to all public assistance programs available to U.S. citizens. Since early 2020, a temporary staffing company in Springfield started actively bringing Haitian refugees to our city. First a few hundred, then thousands. As of this month, our local Job and Family Services has registered over 20,000 Haitian refugees in our county and city. Springfield, which had a steady population of about 58,000, now has an additional 20,000 new residents in and around Springfield, 20,000 people in just under 4 years. Our public school system, with just over 8,000 students, suddenly has over 1,600 non-English speaking students. 19-year-old Haitian men and women are being enrolled as high school freshmen and are in a class with 13-year-old boys and girls. The staffing company that started this migration, in quotation marks, is owned by a man that has over 63 rental properties in the Springfield area. Instead of getting the normal $600 to $800 in rent each month, he rents cots for $250 a month to his...
Listen to that. The staffing agent, I'm sorry, I cut her off, but the staffing agent who used to get $650 a month per unit, because he's staffing people and he's giving them living quarters. She's about to say he is now getting $250 per bed.
As many as 20 to 25 Haitians per home. He charges them $25 for round trips to work each day. They work under contracts preventing them from being hired full-time at their place of employment. This and the barrier of not speaking English causes them to become basically indentured servants, in my opinion. Since no one over the age of 18 requires a driver's license in Ohio, driver's education in Ohio, Haitians are allowed to take the permit test with an interpreter who basically gives them all the answers. Since permit in Haitian language of Creole is interpreted as permission, most never take.
So she just said you don't have to take a physical driving test in Ohio. You just have to take the permit test. She just said in Creole, permit is interpreted as permission. So this is how it's happening, guys. This is how these people are just getting permits and driver's license without knowing how to drive. The people who put this system in place are either completely incompetent. They have never been to anywhere in the world. They don't realize that third world countries are different, and you can't just rescue a whole bunch of refugees and stick them in an American state and everything will work out fine. They're either completely incompetent, or I don't know, or they're doing this on purpose, or they are causing chaos on purpose, because this is insane. People have died because of these car accidents that these Haitians are causing. This is not Haitian hate. This is not racial. And she's going to say that too, because of course you have to. The other lady said that she is being called racist just for being white. This is importation of Marxism. This is importation of critical race theory. This is wrong.
The actual driving test. This means hundreds of Haitians who cannot speak English and have no idea what the driving laws actually say are now causing accidents all over their community. There are Facebook pages created by individuals dedicated to reporting accidents involving Haitians. The number of overturned cars being reported each day on the streets where the speed limits are 35 miles per hour or less would shock you. 1 year ago, a Haitian man pulled in front of a school bus, causing the bus to overturn, ejecting children, and resulting in the death of one 11-year-old student. Our county health department has reported an increase in HIV cases over the last 5 years based on our country health department based on their numbers, we will hit an increase at 871% over the previous 5 years. Nurses have confirmed that an entire wing of our regional hospital has nothing but Haitian patients being treated for HIV. A delivery nurse reports that 70% of all scheduled cesareans are for Haitian women who cannot deliver naturally because of HIV. TB cases are up over 500% for the same period. Our federally qualified healthcare, FQHC, called Rocking Horse, is overwhelmed with the increase of Haitians that are automatically qualified for Medicaid services. Our public safety officials have confirmed that charges against most Haitians who break the law are almost immediately dismissed because of lack of translators, meaning that the courts cannot provide speedy trial, so they are simply arrested and released. City, county, and state leaders are overwhelmed with complaints that they can do very little about fixing. Last month, a group calling themselves Blood Tribe marched past a jazz and blues festival carrying large swastika flags and rifles. Their leader showed up last week at a city commission meeting and publicly warned the mayor of impending savagery if he didn't stop the migration of Haitians into our community. Not cool. I told you I was bringing the bad news. Let me tell you, this is not about race. As a grandfather of 7 children, 5 of whom are wonderfully loved children of color, I can assure you this has nothing to do with the race or color of someone's skin.
So she basically just said that neo-Nazis are now on the streets because of this immigration. They are using it as an excuse to make this into something racial when it's not. This is imported third world. This is imported communism. This is forcing taxpayers who did not consent to this immigration, who did not consent to having these people in their towns, who did not consent to taking care of these refugees. Taking care of refugees sounds wonderful. I know they're coming from a hellhole, but it's affecting American citizens, and they are putting the immigrants first. Look at all these things that are happening because of this. It is not the Haitians' fault, except for the ones who are groping people or attacking people, and there's more videos of that. A gentleman saying that his job was being threatened. They would come in with hammers saying that they were going to kill people. So besides the criminals, the people who just came here for honest work, it is not their fault, but they are exploiting our system or the government is allowing them to exploit our system, and they are being exploited. They are being kept in housing, multiple to a room. They are being charged $25 to and from work. They are not able, because of their language barrier and because of the way they're making it, to have any other job but the job that they're giving them. They have trafficked and imported slavery. The Democrats have imported slavery. This is insane, guys. I know I've said that a lot, but this is insane. It's even more insane that everybody doesn't know this to be true, but that's why I'm making this video. So let's finish hearing this woman out. The neo-Nazis too makes me so mad, because there are already people having to say, hey, this isn't because of racism. And then neo-Nazis come out and take an opportunity. And if what's happening in England right now is any indication with Tommy Robinson and everything else, the Democrats, just like they're burying this story, will use the neo-Nazis as an excuse to say, see, we told you it was about racism. It's not because we flooded the system. It's not because we're not giving these people any help. It's not because we've imported slavery. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Pay attention to the neo-Nazis. Racism. It's bullshit. Kamala is bullshit.
Understand that these folks are fleeing a hellhole of a country run by gangs. They are thankful to be here, but our community simply cannot handle an influx of 20,000 new residents who do not understand our language, our culture, our laws, and are being treated, in my opinion, as indentured servants. The bad news is that the current administration has allowed millions of individuals to come across the border and, in this case, even be flown into our country. Our communities in Ohio are only just beginning to understand the full impact of the last 4 years. Your community could be next. Now, the good news is that the answer lies in your hands as voters. The good news lies in putting Donald Trump back in the White House and Bernard Moreno as our next U.S. Senator from Ohio. The good news comes in 60 days when we could take back our country, seal our borders, and bring sanity back to the United States of America. From the Ohio Supreme Court to the U.S. Senate race, from electing local officials up to electing Donald Trump, our nation depends on your vote. Our state depends on your vote, and the community of Springfield, Ohio depends on your vote. Please don't let us down. And that is coming from a former representative here in the state of Ohio, Clark County, who lives in the Springfield area, owns property.
Okay, so I know that was a bit long, but I feel like the entire thing is important. This didn't just start happening. It's been happening slowly over time for years. The Biden administration, Kamala, has brought these people in. They did not plan for what to do besides giving them taxpayer money, giving them American resources under everybody's nose. And I agree, we need to vote for Trump. We need to vote for local representatives who can actually represent our interests. But this should also be an eye-opener to, why are they doing this? Are they trying to cause chaos? Are they trying to get new voters? Because I very much doubt that this is just out of the goodness of their hearts, bringing in these refugees, giving them refugee status so that we can't just call them illegals and kick them out of the country. But they have imported communism. They are giving our taxpayer dollars to illegal immigrants. America did not consent to this, and now they're gaslighting us and they're telling us it is not happening. Do not pay attention to these people in Ohio. They're liars. They're focusing on the one story of Haitians may or may not be eating animals. Which, you know what? I saw a post that said, like, GOP really needs to come up with better lies. I don't know. I think it did the job to get everybody's attention on the Ohio residents that are being ignored. Not that I think it's a lie, because, yeah, you're right. If we were going to come up with a lie, why would we come up with one that's so ridiculous sounding? It really makes me mad. I saw another post of a woman saying that there are consequences to rumors, suggesting that we are harming the Haitians by pointing out what they're doing. I would say there are also consequences to repeating mainstream media lies and propaganda. You are spreading the propaganda. mainstream media viewership is going lower and lower and lower. So if you're spreading their message, you are doing a great job in helping spread that propaganda. This one's really, really sad. This is just a girl in Ohio that, this is one I told you about, that she's just saying like, it's not funny, it's not a joke, this is happening. So let's listen to her because I think she should be heard right now.
This shit ain't no joke. It's not funny. I really do not feel fucking safe here, bro. Like, everyone on TikTok, on Facebook, making these jokes to get everything's fucking funny. Like, imagine you being homeless for a whole fucking year for no fucking reason. Like, what the fuck? This shit is not fun. This shit is not cool, bro. They really out here decapitating animals and y'all are making jokes out of it. Imagine if you went outside and you saw your dog's head decapitated on the fucking ground. Like, why are y'all thinking this shit's a joke? It's not a joke. I don't feel comfortable walking anywhere. Like, what the fuck? I should be able to feel safe in my own city. Everybody's fucking homeless out here. Ain't shit but fucking scary ass Haitians just lurking and creeping and shit. Y'all thinking this shit's motherfucking funny. I keep making this shit up. It's not made up, bro. This shit is real life. This shit is really affecting me. Like, what the fuck? This shit ain't no joke. It's not funny. I really do not feel fucking safe.
Listen to that girl. Do you really think she's making that up? Do you really think she's making these claims because she's racist? That's the saddest thing I've ever seen. That breaks my heart. She's right. She does deserve to feel safe in her own city. She deserves to be heard by her local representatives. She deserves for Kamala Harris and Biden to answer for what they've done to her town. Here's another man, another racist in Ohio, speaking to his local representatives and backing up the things that mainstream media call a lie or a rumor.
Have fun, because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun, because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits, and I'm getting out here every day, and I'm broadcasting this, and you guys are just sitting up there in suits or something. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into... they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, y'all can be comfortable with this. I don't know, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to, seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get a task force for the Highway State Patrol, and they look for guns and they look for dope and this and that and the fourth. That same people that y'all got riding up and down Limestone doing U-turns, pulling people over for blinkers and pulling people over for going left to center and a couple miles over, y'all can take them same people, the Highway State Patrol, and you can take them in every single one of their silver Chargers and Dodge Durangos, and y'all can take them to Sunset, and y'all can park them right over there, and y'all can teach people how to drive, since the Highway State Patrol know so much about traffic laws and know what to do in traffic. They need to, y'all pay them. They can go over there and teach these Haitians how to drive, because it's getting I'm getting thousands of views on these, and it's going to get bigger, and it's only going to get worse. And y'all sitting up there in these chairs, all y'all need to get out here and do something. Y'all making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Y'all need to put on a t-shirt and some Crocs, and then y'all need to come out here in these streets, and y'all need to go out here and I'm out here before the police is. Y'all need to do something, bro. Y'all really got to stand on business. Y'all getting paid all this money just to wear a suit and sit in a chair. I think it's crazy, bro. We got to do something, bro. It's kids out here getting hurt. Only reason I even went on here and said something about it is because somebody told me they walking from the school and a Haitian almost ran into them. And who is getting paid? How much money is y'all really getting paid, to bring them over here? I know it's deeper than them. I know that's where they come from, and that's what they do. That's their country. I don't know what they got going on over there, but they can't do that over here. And if y'all just getting paid from it and then y'all ain't doing nothing about it, I think that's super weird, bro. Y'all got to stand on business. Y'all got to really like step up. Like it's lame, bro. Like for real.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
First of all, props to that guy for calling it like he sees it. Somebody is indeed getting paid. I wonder if the only reason that they've done anything about it, and I think maybe I've got like two more videos. The next one is a police report, someone calling in to report what's happening. But then also one more, the National Guard is being called because of this. And I wonder if it is. I wonder if Ohio can say, thank you, President Trump, for drawing attention to this during your debate, even at your own expense, even though people are calling you a liar and a fool. Thank you for drawing attention to this thing that is being ignored. We are being called liars. We are being laughed at. That is why Trump represents the American people. If he seemed frustrated to you during that debate, it is because the American people are frustrated. We hear you lying, Kamala. We can fact check you. We got the internet. I know you hate Elon Musk because we have the ability to do that, but we can and we do. And you and ABC are shams. You should be embarrassed. Okay, one more police report. We can hear from one more citizen because, again, I really think that these people need to be heard, and I really think it's a shame that mainstream media isn't doing more to make these American voices heard because they're so busy covering for Kamala, covering for Biden, and covering for not only their administration, but for the problems that their decisions are causing.
Clark County Communications.
Yes, ma'am. I got a question. This is a non-emergency line, correct?
Yes, it is.
I'm sitting here. I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today.
Clark County Communications.
Yes, ma'am. I got a question. This is a non-emergency line, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm sitting here. I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today, and I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand. They got away. I couldn't make out the first 3 of the license plate, but I got the numbers. The last numbers was 9898, and it was a gray Toyota Tacoma they took off on. There was about 4 of them. There was 2 men, 2 women. I couldn't tell the age because I'm in a hurry going to this orientation, so I don't be late.
What direction did they go?
They went up towards the middle of towards downtown.
Okay, and what path are you on?
Right now, hold on just a second. I'm coming to the intersection of. Give me a second here. It says Water and Warder Street.
Water and Warder. Is that the area you saw them?
Yes. It was about 2 minutes back behind me. I was trying to get my phone out and trying to make it to this orientation on time. I'm time crunching here. And I saw that. I'm like, yeah, this has got to be reported.
So how many geese did they have?
They each had 1.
So you get the picture. The man is riding to a job training, and he sees 2 Haitian men, 2 Haitian women just carrying geese near their Toyota. So maybe the geese aren't pets, if you want to get stuck on that little detail, but they are just grabbing animals. They are behaving in America like they behave in their country, and it's not entirely their fault. In fact, it's entirely Kamala and Biden's fault that this is happening. They should be held accountable. ABC should have held them accountable. Instead, they lied for them. The mainstream media continues to lie for them. And they should be ashamed, honestly. They should be ashamed that they made Ohio a laughingstock and that they continue to gaslight the American people as they facilitate an invasion from inside our border. Okay, I've got one more video for you guys. It is Governor Mike DeWine asking for DeWine. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. He's asking for funding for Springfield, Ohio, and he's asking for National Guard to come and help because they are overwhelmed. Their resources are overwhelmed. The people are overwhelmed. And and Kamala is laughing on debate stage, pretending this isn't happening and that she didn't lie every 2 seconds in that debate. If this is the woman that you want to run the United States of America, you have been fooled, you have been lied to, you have been brainwashed. If you see this, if you see the what's happening and you continue to spread the lie, you continue to ignore it, you say MAGA are a liar, Trump is a liar, I believe everything the Democratic Party says, you deserve what you get, but the people whose lives you're destroying do not deserve it. The immigrants being used for slave labor do not deserve this. I'm sure they're living far better lives than they would be in Haiti, but America can't just take in everyone, for one. And two, if the plan is to take in everyone as a refugee, we need to have better systems in place, because just allowing crime, not arresting them, not being able to speak with them because of language barriers, and just acting like it's all hunky-dory is not acceptable.
To surge troopers and patrol cars into Springfield to help the local Springfield Police Department deal with traffic concerns in the community. The goal, of course, is to reduce dangerous driving, regardless of who the driver is. Haitian immigrants in the city of Springfield, Ohio. I know there's been a lot of talk and discussion, particularly over the last few days. I want to set out what the essential facts are.
I feel like even right there, he was just like kind of smirking. Like, I know you've heard some silly things, but let me tell you what the facts are. Sir, people are telling us what the facts are, and you're ignoring them. You have been ignoring them. I feel like the only reason this is being addressed now is it's become news. Again, thank you, Trump. Thank you for pointing this out on the debate stage while Kamala laughed at you, while the ABC news anchors called you a liar. Today, they're calling you a liar. They're saying that this is fake news, that it's not happening. They want to harp on the, oh, well, we have no proof that they've abducted pets. Okay. Are they not still eating wild animals? Are there not far more issues than that you could have addressed besides, oh, the immigrants are scared? Don't mind the American citizens. Don't mind the state of Ohio. The immigrants are scared. Great. Well, Biden and Kamala shouldn't have brought them here. Americans did not sign up for this. Americans are losing their jobs. Americans are losing their housing. Americans are losing their lives. And you're worried about the immigrants. Come on. Demons.
There's a community of approximately 58,000 people. Over the last several years, this city has received immigrants somewhere in the neighborhood of 15,000 new immigrants, new residents. I don't think anyone's sure of the exact number.
20,000.
That obviously represents a massive increase based upon percentage of the population in Springfield. It is unprecedented in such a short period of time. Springfield's hospital and healthcare systems have seen a dramatic influx of new patients, increasing the need not only for healthcare, but also for translation services. Let me talk for a moment about that healthcare situation. And to put it in perspective, these are immigrants who come from Haiti, which is a country that has very little health care. The health care that Haiti had, which was not much, many of the doctors have left since the assassination of the president several years ago. So it is much worse today than it has been in the past, and it's never been good. What that means is that we have potentially 15,000 people. We do have 15,000 people or so in Springfield who really have not had health care. And if they've had health care, it hasn't been very much throughout their life. What that also means is that the number of these individuals, we don't know, but the number of these individuals who are not vaccinated from things that we take for granted in this country is a high number and very, very significant. These facts have a great potential for community health challenges as well as individual health challenges. I talked to Dr. Vanderhoff at length about that. So that is one of the big problems. Second, we've seen a dramatic increase in the migrant children in Springfield schools, resulting in an increased need for more English as a second language services in these schools. Again, there aren't that many cars in Haiti. Most people don't drive. So a good number of the individuals who come to the United States have not driven.
They do not drive in Haiti. Why are they being given licenses? Why are they being given licenses without being taught to drive, or the laws of the road in America, period? They're flipping cars. They're running people over. And again, the beginning of this at least just sounds like, oh, these are more things that we need for immigrants. Maybe you don't need 20,000 Haitian immigrants in your state. Maybe that's also an option. I agree with the other guy who's making money off of this. I understand they're probably just trying to mitigate the problems that this decision has created. But someone should be held responsible for this. It shouldn't be ignored until maybe they kind of fix it, and then they can be like, see what Kamala did? She helped integrate these Haitian Americans. No, ma'am. She is the queen of solving problems that she herself caused. That's what she is. She causes a problem. She kind of fixes it, or puts a pretty title that sounds like she fixed something when really she didn't, or she made it worse. And everyone's like, oh, good job, good job. You're such a girl boss. Slay, queen. It's bullshit. This is bullshit, and I feel like a lot more people should be mad right now.
They certainly do not have an Ohio license, but they have not driven, many of them. And those who have driven, have not gone through really any formal courses. This has created a great deal of concern among people who are on the road in Springfield and in Clark County.
Who is this guy? This is causing a great deal of concern? Yeah. Yes, it has. That's a very mild way of putting it. But yes, people are concerned inside and outside of Ohio. Thank you.
There's really not a familiarity also with the laws of the United States. This, again, creates a very significant problem for the Springfield community. Next is the housing problem.
He just glossed right over that one. They also don't know the laws here. It's causing a very significant problem. We're just going to move on to the next point. Really, guy? Really, guy? What does that mean? Does that mean that there's migrant crime? You know, that thing Kamala keeps denying? Is that what that means? Sounds like that's what it means. I don't have it on the list, but there is a video of, I don't know if it was an email. I think it was an email from the same independent reporter, Tyler Hansen, who interviewed the woman who said she had been accosted. And I'll find it here in a minute. The report, actually, let's just hop right over there right now. Let's see. This man was the man in the red hoodie, and he's been taking videos of all the car wrecks. That's how many there are that he's able to post car wreck after car wreck. I think maybe this is the video I saw, and that's why I didn't see the end of the other one. But here we go. Hi, my name is Blank, and I have lived in Springfield my entire life. At the beginning of this year, we made the decision to move away from my hometown due to the rising violence with them. They don't understand our laws. There's violence. You left that part out, didn't you? They have affected my home life and now my work. Recently, we have had a few very violent Haitians in my place of work, ranging from calling us white racist slurs. So this is corroborating what the other woman that he interviewed said, that white people are being called racist just by virtue of being white. They are importing Marxism. They are importing communism. They are taking taxpayer funds and redistributing it to immigrants who are criminals, who are accosting people, who are killing people, not being arrested. And they're just like, oh, we don't speak the language. Ranging from calling us whites, racist slurs, to threatening employees with hammers, and even threatening to come back and kill everyone on sight. I have stopped men fighting women, have almost been killed on my motorcycle in traffic because of a Haitian, and having to deal with them literally taking over neighborhoods by the busful. If you are still interested in hearing more of my point of view, please email or call me. So that's another Ohio citizen writing into Taylor Hanson. I think he says that he had about 400 of these emails right here. I've received nearly 400 emails from Springfield locals about their experiences dealing with the Haitian influx. Nearly half of the emails I've received have been very similar to this one. Lifetime residents attempting to flee due to violence, lack of access to resources, and dangerous unlicensed drivers on the roads causing accidents. Mainstream media is saying that this story is fake, like they did with the Aurora, Colorado, with the Venezuelan gangs taking over the apartment complexes. But the sheer amount of people sharing similar experiences are very intriguing. And I assume that that's why he went to Ohio and started interviewing people. So yeah, I'm very put off by the way this gentleman is stating these facts. They don't know American laws. We'll just put that to the side. Sir, they are being violent. They are threatening people. They are harming people. They are fighting women. They are accosting women. Imagine someone gets raped. Imagine one of those little 13-year-old girls that you're letting a 16-year-old boy into the school with, and she gets HIV. Who will that be on? Probably won't even be reported. It's more than them just not knowing our laws. And if it is just them not knowing our laws or having extremely different customs, where was the plan that should have been put in place to help with integration? I know in the CRT crowd, the woke brigade, it's not PC to say integration. But that is what happens. That is what you keep talking about, all this immigration that's happened in the past in America. That is what has happened in the past. That is what happens. They integrate or it doesn't work. Not every religion is equal. Not every worldview is equal. I'm sorry. I want to live in a world where we live on farms and all have our own livestock and have our own vegetables. But I also want to live in the world where we can go to the park and feed ducks, not kill them and eat them. You know, there's different kind of ducks. Just saying. I definitely don't want to live in a world where I have to tie up my cat so no one eats him. And again, even if that stuff is exaggerated or made up and it's just a story bred from a mixture of the ducks, the real stories of ducks being eaten, which you've heard police reports from now, and the misconstrued clip of the woman on drugs in a different town in Ohio eating a cat. Which, by the way, these immigrants are also bringing in drugs. I believe the gentleman in the red hoodie said that. They have guns. They're buying drugs or selling drugs. You cannot just gloss over that they don't know our laws. To me, that sounds like an excuse. First of all, that's not putting any guilt on them. I'm sorry, I don't care what your laws are. Maybe don't threaten people with hammers. Maybe don't rub up on women's behinds in a grocery store. Maybe don't do that. I don't know what they're doing over there in Haiti, but if this is how differently than that they live, there should be someone from the government there to help integrate them. That's not what's happening. And shame on this man for saying that it's, oh, they just don't know our laws, and glossing over that like no violence is happening.
We've seen people who are bunched together in homes. One of the other results that we have seen is that the cost of rent is up. Supply and demand, it means it's up for everyone. So you can have someone who has been renting in Springfield for many years and who has to deal with that high rent.
Not just that, but people are being kicked out of their homes, saying we're going to renovate and you can move back in, and then not being able to move back in because the landlords can get more money from the government, from the Haitians. Local residents that have been living there their entire lives, are being pushed out for immigrants. Is this that slippery slope? Is this that conspiracy theory that as conservatives keep spreading? That immigrants are going to take our jobs, take our houses? That the government's going to finance it? That the government is financing it? That the government is taking our tax dollars and spreading it among immigrants? That the immigrants are going to drain our resources? At what point does it stop being a conspiracy theory and become reality?
Addressing these considerable challenges, we've been consulting really for a number of months, many months, with Mayor Rue, with the county commissioners, with the health director, school officials, the superintendent, other individuals. We've had meetings at the governor's residence where we pulled people together from Clark County to discuss the problems. So just in a nutshell, as a result, we've conducted driver education classes. We've provided driving simulators. We've taken other actions through the BMV to try to help train these Haitian drivers. Next, in regard to healthcare, as you know, a few weeks ago, we announced a new health clinic in the Springfield City Schools to dramatically expand primary care access. We have also increased support and provided help for more vaccinations and health screenings through the local health department. Local health department is conducting additional clinics, I believe.
So all of these resources is taxpayer money. All of these resources is state funding. All of these resources is money that isn't going to help the already struggling and poor American citizens, but going to help the immigrants. I guess it will help the citizens by virtue of maybe there will be less wrecks caused by the people you imported. Maybe there'll be less of a language barrier between people you imported. I guess it will help them in that way. But like I said again, it's solving a problem that Kamala caused. Kamala gave these people protective status. She brought them into our country. She dropped them off in Springfield, Ohio, and she gave them protected status. And now other people, their lives are being affected. They're having to deal with it. And this guy's like, oh, well, we got additional resources. Great. Great. Thank you. Thank you for solving the problem that you caused. Thank you. I'm glad you're doing something, but I don't want the doing something to gloss over the accountability. I don't want it to gloss over the fact that Biden and Kamala did this. I don't want it to gloss over the fact that mainstream media is gaslighting us, lying to us, saying this isn't happening. Don't look at the man behind the curtain. Don't worry about it. There is no Venezuelan gang taking over apartment complexes. That's silly. That's GOP, Republican, conservative, MAGA, Trump lies. Don't listen to that. Oh, so now it is happening. Now it is happening. Now you need additional resources because the thing that wasn't happening is happening. Call me a conspiracy theorist one more time. That's what they do. They're liars. Here's the evidence. That's a lie.
About this in a minute, that those have to increase as well. We've provided additional funds to the local county job and family service departments to provide translation services. We've tripled funding to Clark State College for services to teach English to Haitians at Clark State. And we're working with Springfield Superintendent Hill and his team to help them maximize existing resources and provide ongoing support to deal with the surge of migrant students. Now, let me talk about what I'm announcing today and what else we will be doing. And this will not be the end of what we're doing, because this is an ongoing situation. First, I've directed the Ohio State Highway Patrol through Colonel Charles Jones, who is here with me today, to surge troopers and patrol cars into Springfield to help the local Springfield Police Department deal with traffic concerns in the community. The goal, of course, is to reduce dangerous driving, regardless of who the driver is.
Do you see what I'm saying? Regardless of who the driver is. We know who the driver is. We know who the drivers are. There are crashes every single day. There are cars flipping. There are people dying because you are permitting Haitians to drive, to have cars, to have licenses, however it works. You are letting it happen. And now you want to make sure that everyone is driving safely. Well, no shit. Yes, of course you want everyone to drive safely, but let's not. I feel like everything he says is just like we're getting help for these issues, but they're not really issues. Or at least they're not immigrant issues. They're not Haitian issues. And I'm sure behind closed doors he's like, well, we don't want people to be more upset about the immigration that's being forced on American citizens. We don't want people to think more about how American citizens are being put last. These people are shameful.
It's the federal government's policies that have created these surges. We are also, in addition to Springfield, seeing surges, not as great extent yet, but we're seeing surges in Findlay and in Lima. And I'm sure there are other cities that are seeing surges across this country. When we see surges like this, surges that no community can anticipate at all, no community can be prepared for. No community can expect such surges as this. We will naturally see all the consequences that I have described in Springfield. And so when these will happen in other communities, we will see these things happen again and again.
I sincerely hope this is leading up to whose fault it is. Because yes, we should definitely solve the problem first. I'm glad you're taking steps to do that, hopefully. We'll see. But whose fault it is? You're absolutely right. No city can sustain what is happening. So who did it and why? I hope he asks. That's all I'm saying.
The federal government simply has to be part of the solution. They have to step up. It is their policies that have created these surges. The federal government needs to assist these communities with real dollars. These dramatic surges impact every citizen in the community, every citizen. The moms who have to wait hours in a waiting room with a sick child, everyone who drives on the streets, and it affects children who go to school in more crowded classrooms. It has so many other impacts on that community.
So I feel like he maybe kind of finally mentioned the Ohio citizens. And he's just like, stuff is happening. Causes have effects, And the government needs to give us more money. Because they caused this problem, they need to give us more money. I kind of wish everyone talked like Trump. I kind of wish he would be like, this is Kamala's fault, this is Biden's fault, this is what they did, this is how they did it. And we demand that they fix it. He's being way too nice. I don't like it.
And so the federal government, without a plan for this, and without putting in the resources, really, I think, owes it to the citizens of Springfield and the other communities that are involved. The federal government does not have a plan to give any support to the communities impacted by the surge, and we have absolutely no indication that a plan is coming in the future.
The government has no plans to help the Ohio residents, is what he just said there. And he says we see no plan to help them in the future. That's the federal government. That's Biden. That's Kamala. Those are the people who did this and are not being held accountable. These are the people who are using legacy media, mainstream media, to spread their lies and propaganda that this is not happening. They're trying to cover it up. They're trying to say this isn't a problem. Thank God for Elon Musk. Thank God we have X. Thank God that we have Trump, who has, frankly, the balls to bring up something like this on a national debate stage to draw attention to it. And shame on all of you who continue to repeat the lies. I hope that some of you didn't know this information before, and now that you know it, you will stop spreading lies. You will stop believing the mainstream media. This is not the first time they lied to us, and this will not be the last time they lied to us. Again, I will do a fact check video, but Kamala, pretty much everything out of her mouth on the debate stage was a lie. Something that it's not even like a new debunked lie. It's been debunked. Was a lie. And ABC backed her up. There was no fact checking on towards Kamala. I made this video because I feel extremely bad for the people in Ohio. I cannot imagine having to go through these things and seeing that on the national stage you're being ignored or mocked. You're being gaslit. People are saying that you're lying or that you're racist. When these things are happening to you, you're being harmed and there's no end in sight. There's no plan to offer assistance from the federal government who caused the crisis. You have immigrants breaking laws, committing crimes, calling you racial slurs, not being arrested, not being held accountable, and all the help is for them. All the help is to help them to learn English, help them learn how to drive. So what we just learned is the federal government is sending help for them. It is not sending help for the Ohio citizens who are suffering because of their policies. I would love to leave you on a positive note, but honestly, this is maddening and frustrating. And the fact that Americans are helping to gaslight other Americans, I feel like that's the most annoying part. But at least we have a political candidate who's willing to get on a debate stage and speak the truth. Even at the expense of the debate, even at the expense of being made fun of, being mocked, called a liar. I'm sure Trump is used to it by now. I'm voting for that person. I'm not voting for the person who's smiling and smirking the whole time, that evil woman, while she was saying, that's not happening. I think there is a very clear choice on what's happening right now. One side is lying, is gaslighting us, is talking out of both sides of their mouth, saying they won't remove our guns, saying they won't remove free speech. The two things pretty much every communist dictator has removed from their public in order to control them. Americans need to wake up, and I honestly hope what's happening in Colorado, what's happening in Ohio, is a turning point for the way people are thinking about this election and for thinking about what's going on in the world. I know there's always going to be snowflakes who are like, we need to help all the refugees, and have no idea how the government is even able to do that, can finance that, don't care. We just need to help them because we said so. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. And this is proof. And it's proof that even if the government can help people, they are choosing to prioritize the refugees over the American citizens. Thanks for watching Living for the Plot. My name is Stephanie, and hopefully the next video will be a lot more upbeat than this.